For decades, the word landlord meant apartments, buildings, tenants, repairs, and mortgages. But in the digital economy, some assets do not need walls to create demand. A domain name, a licensed dataset, server capacity, software access, online storefront space, or specialized digital infrastructure can be leased to people or businesses that need utility without full ownership. This is the quiet idea behind digital asset leasing. Own or control something useful, then rent access to someone who needs it. The problem with many popular side hustles is not that they are fake. The problem is that they become crowded fast. When thousands of people sell the same product, use the same ad template, and chase the same audience, margins get squeezed. The beginner ends up paying for attention instead of building an asset. Digital leasing takes a different angle. Instead of constantly selling something new, you try to control a useful piece of digital supply that someone else needs repeatedly. Digital asset leasing is simple when you remove the hype. First, there is an asset with real utility. Second, there is controlled access to that asset. Third, there is a payment agreement. The asset could be a website that brings leads, cloud compute capacity, a niche domain, a licensed data feed, a software tool, a digital storefront, or even a library of creative files. The key question is not, can I buy it? The key question is, who needs to use it enough to pay repeatedly?
Many businesses do not want to own everything. Ownership can be expensive, slow, and risky. A small company may not want to buy a premium domain, build an entire data system, or maintain technical infrastructure. But it may be willing to rent access if that access helps generate leads, save time, process customers, or improve operations. This is where leasing becomes interesting. You are not selling dreams. You are selling temporary use of something with measurable value. One practical form of digital asset leasing is a lead-generating website. You build or acquire a website around a specific local or niche service. If the site attracts search traffic and produces real inquiries, you can lease those leads to a business. For example, a moving company may pay for qualified calls. A dental clinic may pay for appointment requests. A repair company may pay for local customers. This is not passive at the start. You must build traffic, prove quality, track leads, and protect both sides from fake numbers.
A domain name is not valuable just because it sounds cool. It becomes valuable when it matches demand. A good domain can reduce friction, build trust, capture type-in traffic, or support a campaign. But most domains never earn anything. The practical approach is to look for commercial intent, industry relevance, clear spelling, short memory, and real buyers. Leasing a domain can work when a business wants the benefit without paying a large purchase price up front. Another category is compute and automation capacity. Some teams need temporary processing power, workflow automation, rendering, analytics, or technical systems, but they do not want to build everything internally. The asset owner can package capacity as a service. This requires more skill than buying a domain. You must understand uptime, security, cost control, customer support, and service level expectations. If one mistake breaks a client workflow, the lease can turn into a refund, a dispute, or a reputation problem.
Data can be powerful, but it is also dangerous when handled carelessly. A dataset is only rentable if you have the right to use it, share it, or license it. Clean sourcing matters. Consent matters. Terms of use matter. A business does not want a dataset that creates legal problems later. So the practical opportunity is not just collecting data, it is organizing, verifying, licensing, updating, and delivering data in a way a customer can safely use. Not every digital lease has to be technical. Creative libraries can also become assets. Templates, product mockups, video systems, design kits, automation workflows, prompt systems, and niche production files can be leased through membership access or business licensing. The mistake is making generic files that look like everyone else's. The opportunity is building a library for one painful workflow. The more specific the problem, the easier it is to prove value.
Before buying or building any digital asset, ask one brutal question.
Who pays and why? If the asset does not save time, make money, reduce risk, replace labor, or unlock distribution, it is probably not a business asset. It is just a digital object. A practical investor starts with the buyer, not the asset. Find the painful business problem first, then build or acquire the asset that solves it. If you are starting with $1,000, do not try to build a digital empire. Use the money to prove demand. Spend a small amount on research tools, a basic website or landing page, simple tracking, outreach, and testing. The goal is not to look rich. The goal is to discover whether real people will pay for access. A tiny asset with one paying customer teaches more than a beautiful platform with zero demand.
Most beginners wait for customers to magically appear. Practical operators do outreach. Build a list of businesses that clearly benefit from the asset. Send short, specific messages. Show what the asset does. Offer a small trial or a performance-based test when appropriate. Avoid spam. The goal is not to blast 1,000 people. The goal is to find 20 qualified prospects and start real conversations. Pricing should come from value, not fantasy. If your asset helps a business earn $3,000 more per month, a $300 to $700 monthly lease may be reasonable. If it only saves a few hours, the price may be much lower. Start with a test price, measure results, and adjust. Never sell guaranteed income. Sell access, service, reliability, and measurable outcomes. The more proof you have, the stronger your pricing power becomes.
A lease without clear terms is a future argument. Define what the customer can use, what they cannot use, when payment happens, how cancellation works, who owns the asset, what support is included, and what happens if service goes down. For data, software, or infrastructure, usage rights are critical. This is where many beginners act casual and get burned. A simple written agreement can protect the relationship before emotions get involved. Automation can make digital leasing smoother. Payment reminders, access control, renewal notices, analytics dashboards, and usage logs can reduce manual work. Smart contracts may help in some ecosystems, but they do not magically create trust. Customers still care about reliability, support, clarity, and results. Automation should remove friction, not hide responsibility. If the customer feels abandoned, your system is not passive. It is just neglected.
Digital leasing sounds clean because there are no broken toilets, but there are still risks. Platforms can change rules, search rankings can drop, a client can cancel, a server can fail, a license can expire, a security issue can destroy trust. Fake demand can trick you into buying assets nobody wants. The practical operator does not ignore risk. They price it, reduce it, and build backups before the emergency happens. If you buy a digital asset, verify everything. Do not trust screenshots alone. Ask for traffic history, payment records, access to analytics, customer proof, license documents, platform terms, and seller reputation. Look for sudden spikes, fake reviews, copied content, unclear ownership, and revenue that depends on one fragile source. The best deal is not the cheapest asset. The best deal is the asset whose risks you actually understand.
There are 3 ways to enter this market. Build the asset yourself, buy an existing asset, or partner with someone who owns one. Building is slower, but teaches the deepest lessons. Buying can be faster, but requires due diligence. Partnering lowers upfront cost, but requires clear agreements. Your best path depends on your edge. If you understand SEO, build lead sites. If you understand tech, package automation. If you understand sales, partner with builders and bring customers. A realistic 90-day plan looks like this. In the first 30 days, choose one niche, interview potential buyers, study competitors, and define the asset. In the next 30 days, build a small version, a landing page, a lead form, a data sample, a demo workflow, or a limited library. In the final 30 days, outreach aggressively, track responses, run a paid test if needed, and try to close one small lease. Not 10,
One paying customer changes the entire conversation.
If the first lease works, the temptation is to scale too fast. But cash flow needs discipline. Put part of the money aside for maintenance, taxes, refunds, tools, and emergencies. Use part to improve the asset. Use part to test the next asset. Do not reinvest everything into unproven opportunities just because the first one worked. Real operators protect the engine before they chase the next engine. A strong digital leasing portfolio is not just a random pile of assets. It is balanced by risk. You may have one lead generation asset, one domain lease, one workflow library, one technical service, and one data product. Each asset should have its own customer type, cost structure, legal profile, and maintenance schedule. Diversification is not buying more things. It is reducing the chance that one failure destroys the whole system.
Digital asset leasing is not magic passive income. It is not a shortcut around work, risk, or judgment, but it is a powerful idea when treated seriously. Build or control something useful. Prove someone needs it. Lease access with clear terms. Maintain it like a real business. If you do that, the digital world stops looking like noise and starts looking like infrastructure. And infrastructure, when useful, can become cash flow.